Every morning it's the same. At 8 a.m., Melsik Baghdarsaryan arrives at a gym in the Arts District of North Hollywood. It's the home to half a dozen professional fighters. Looking more like a pop star than a fighter, there's nothing glamorous about this runway. Out of the limelight, this is hard work many never see. Because halfway around the world, there is an arena, a battleground by invitation only, a tournament of tournaments, the World Series of Fighting, the World Cup of Warriors. This is the Super Bowl of combat sports. In Tokyo, Japan, this is the K-1 Grand Prix. It will be a journey, day in, day out, from weeks to months, comprising of round after round after round. Preparation is not only one bout, but possibly 3 fights all in one night. The possibilities of fighting 12 rounds. At age 25, he's predicted as the heavy favorite to win. Born in Armenia, he started martial arts at 6 years old. As a teen, he qualified for the Armenian kickboxing team. Melsik is known as the Gun. He fires like a weapon, carrying heavy artillery, fast like a bullet, speed like an assault rifle. During his run in America, Melsik made his glory kickboxing debut, became an undefeated boxer, and crowned the WLF kickboxing champion. Suddenly, his career came to a halt. Melsik the Gun Baghdarsaryan was plagued by a shoulder injury, one that left him temporarily out of the game. This is a story about the road back. He's been trained by the best, along with UFC champions Ronda Rousey and Travis Brown, under Edmond Treverdian, Alex Anushian, Manny Pacquiao's coach Freddie Roach, and became sparring partner to world champion Miguel Cotto. This time, it's David Tway. Although he runs Muay Thai America, his expertise is in Sanda and Sanchao, Chinese kickboxing. He's known for training several title holders, including a one-arm world champion, Baxter Humby. His custom-tailored training style will carry on for 2.5 hours every morning for 10 weeks, ensuring if the fight went the distance, Melsik the Gun Baghdarsaryan's bullets will be fully loaded, chambered, and ready to fire. With the Flex Nimble suit offering 75 pounds of resistance, they're rehabilitating the shoulder. Out from kicking for a few years, they're extending his range and flexibility. They're focusing on out-timing the opponent, striking with knockout power. And gaining high-speed velocity. His coach believes Melsik's key is the relaxed speed and explosive power. They will toughen every part of the body, making sure there will be no injuries before, during, and after the bout. Selected by invitation, they're bringing the best from Japan, Brazil, Nepal, China, and Armenia. 8 will fight up the tournament ladder. If any of the 3 rounds ends in a draw, they will fight an extra 4th round. 3 fights, all in one night. The strategy is simple. Win by fighting the least amount of rounds, winning the fights by knockout. As a child, Melsik watched Japanese films by Akira Kurosawa. Influenced by the samurai and warrior spirit, he embodies that do-or-die attitude with each training session. His coach described himself not as a trainer, but a swordsman. To him, it's about a swordsman and his sword. On that daily journey, sharpening that edge, polishing the blade, hardening that steel. For the fighter, This is a story about the gun. Sharpshooting, rapid fire, aim to kill. This is the story of Melsik, the gun, Baghdarsaryan. An entourage of 12 people from America come to Japan. They're here to witness history. The day begins at the K-1 headquarters, 4 floors dedicated each to a different martial arts. The halls are decorated with legends. Signing autographs, Melsik is determined to become one of them. Careful not to reveal too much technique, Coach David and Melsik smile through the open workout, knowing their opponent will be watching. During the interview, they ask who will be fighting him in the finals.
Final fight? I think we're Japanese.
Having studied all the fighters, Coach David responds, Yuta Kubo.
David says yeah.
Arriving to Japan only 1 kilo over the weight limit, Melsik easily makes weight, 67 kilos, welterweight, or 147 pounds. It's time for photos for the press and fans. Fans wait patiently out in the lobby for a photo op. For 10 weeks, he had the perfect camp, the perfect training, the perfect weight cut. Now, for the perfect fight. For Coach David, 90% of his work is done. The international team travels together, representing Spain, Brazil, Mongolia, China, and Armenia. More than 8,000 fans will gather at the Super Saitama Arena. A pre-fight physical, the wrapping of hands, a warm-up, and the gun is ready to fire. With him in the corner, his coach from Armenia, Prix.
Melsik Baghdarsaryan!
For months, they have been preparing for his opponent, Kuza Yamagiya, as this may be his hardest fight. Their strategy is using unpredictable timing and out-of-rhythm power. The idea is to keep the opponent guessing, which will put them on defensive mode rather than thinking of the offense.
There you go. Hey! Hey!
The strategy works for round 1.
Big hand, Melsik, big hand! Big hand, go, right away, big hand! Big hand!
The time difference did take its toll on Melsik, but with this blow, he wakes up.
Got a hook! Hey! Drive him back! Oh, he has kick, he's scared! Hook cross, brother, hook cross, hook cross! Hey! There you go. Don't give him time. Don't give him time. Go ahead. Hey, push him off. Push him off.
The replay shows the dominating power. The boxer that fights the least amount of rounds will have the advantage in the tournament. Melsik tries to end the fight, but the bell saves his opponent.
山上ね山際ですか。見せてほしいですね。
2ラウンドは1つフックでダウンはバックスピンジャンピングスピンキックもあります。
In the third round, Melsik mainly throws the lead hand.
このミドルがいい。左フック逆に右振ってきた。入れ替わります。あの鮮烈さを右いきなり入れてきた山際。
Here in the fight, his coach notices something a bit odd. Occasionally, he throws a power cross.
ここで試合終了、本戦終了です。さあ判定3対0です。メルシック・バダザリアンが
The victory is won by unanimous decision. All three judges give Melsik all 3 rounds. The pride of Armenia moves up the tournament ladder. Back in the locker room, Melsik whispers to Coach David, there's something wrong with his shoulder. Now the question lies, what to do? The options are presented. Drop out of the tournament and surrender the semifinal prize money. Fight the semifinal, throw in the towel when he can't go on, or fight through the injury. 20 minutes later, the time is up. A decision has to be made. In a post on Coach David's Facebook, he states the following. After winning the first bracket of the tournament, Melsik Baghdarsaryan's shoulder was re-injured, and after icing and healing as long as we could, we had to make a decision. For him to step in the semifinals could further injure the shoulder and risk himself being hurt in the ring. A fighter must be able to defend themselves at all times. Although he would collect a higher prize money advancing, it goes against fighter safety, fighter longevity. Melsik's victory still counts as a win, but we must forfeit the tournament so he can fight another day. We are in tears for this, but we must do what's right for the career of the fighter. As predicted for Melsik's final opponent, Yuta Kubo moves to the finals and wins the Grand Prix tournament. Melsik could only wonder what would happen if there wasn't a sling sitting on his shoulder.
マトさん、その意味ではこのバタザリアンの左手を壊したのが右のミドルキック山際でしたよね。
To sum up the K-1 Grand Prix is to see their expressions. These are faces, painted faces, with blood, cuts, bandages, and bruises. They are decorated by their opponents. A face they wear proud. Now it's time for rehabilitation. In full confidence, his doctor says he will make a 100% recovery. The promoters from K-1 made a promise to bring him back. Many people think fights are won in the ring, but they are mostly won back at the gym. Their philosophy is simple. Fight the way you train, but never come to fight. Only come to win. And that he did. From Armenia to America to Asia, it's a dream that started with a kick and a punch, like the World Cup and the Super Bowl ring. That coveted K-1 belt also serves as a crown to be king. This is his target, K-1. This is the gun, Melsik Baghdarsaryan.